Hello, everybody. Very good evening to each and every one of you out there. My name is Zubin Zaveri, and I welcome you all to this particular session. All right. So, good evening, a very warm evening to each every one of you. Namaskar, Zubin Zaveri, and I welcome you once again to this particular session on RRG, relative rotation graph. All right. Hello, Mr. Shorab, Soharab. All right. So we'll wait for another few seconds for others to join in. And in the meanwhile, if you guys can just type it in the chat box or in the comment section about how long are you into stock markets, just in short about you've just started the market, maybe 1 or 2 months, or you are into the market since in a year or more than a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So you can just type in your experience in the comment section. Can be used in lower time frame for intraday. Lakhan, just hold on. We'll definitely have a Q&A, and I'll make sure to answer all your questions. Right. So we have Ramesh ji, 2 years of experience in the market. All right. Jai Raman ji, hello, 2.5 years into the market. Well, I don't know what's your name. If you can also introduce yourself. I'm into the market since around 20 years. I started long ago in the year 2004, where I was only studying in Narsimonji College in Mumbai and in SY BCom. And since then, I'm, tracking stock markets. I have seen the 2008 crash. I've seen the COVID crisis. I've seen, Manmohan Singh, 10 years of Manmohan Singh government, and have seen uh, 10 years of Narendra Modi government as well. All right. So here I am. Okay. All right. So, okay, cool. The agenda for this particular session is about, this is not a live analysis. I know, many of you are joining me every evening, where we are discussing about Nifty trends. But today we will learn something. All right. We will learn about, something, a new concept, in India, basically. And that is about RRG, relative rotation graph. And how to analyze that, will it help us for intraday trading, will it help us for investment, will it help us for swing trading? All these questions, we'll be taking up one by one. And it's about this particular is a technical analysis tool. All right, it is just a tool, RRG, and how we can use it. All right. All these things we'll be discussing today in this particular webinar. All right. Yeah, hi Bhavin. All right. All right, that's good to know, Ramesh bhai. You're learning. Fantastic. So today is about learning RRG, and without further ado, now let me simply letting you know, we will go around in this particular session for around 45 minutes. Again, it depends on your question. If I feel your question needs urgent answer, I will answer you immediately. Or else I'll keep it towards the end of the session. We'll definitely spend some good time in question and answer round. All right. So about RRG, it who has built it? So someone named Julius de Campaner. All right, he has built this particular tool called as RRG, and it was available on various softwares, like Bloomberg and stock charts. But in India, Strike, this is the only platform which has licensed RRG. All right, so and it is the first one. So let's see and get into the screen. Over here you can see the home screen of Strike, and how to go to RRG. So we have these three buttons on the left hand side. We will go to the second button, that is analyze, and the last option, which is RRG. Once we click on this, you will get something like this. All right. Um, and in this, you will have a leading quadrant, you have a weakening quadrant, you have a lagging quadrant, and you have a improving quadrant. And you have some some snake type arrows going here and there. These look literally like snakes, right? Crawling from one quadrant to another quadrant. So what are these? What does this indicate? All these things we'll be understanding. All right. Now, before I make you understand this, let's hit to the whiteboard and let's understand the very basic stuff. All right. So, as I showed you, there were four quadrants. Yeah, there were four quadrants over here. On the top right corner is the leading quadrant. All right, let me write it down. That's the leading quadrant. Then on the bottom right, we have the weakening quadrant. On the bottom left, we have the lagging quadrant, and on the left hand side on the top we have the improving quadrant. So we have these four quadrants over here, and we have some arrows going in a circular, in a clockwise manner, from one quadrant to another quadrant. So first of all, let's understand, if a particular arrow is pointing upwards, all right, if a particular arrow is pointing upwards, what does it mean? It means that, all right, you can see on your RRG, you can see that on the y axis there is something called as JDKRS momentum. It is momentum on the y axis, and on the x axis we have the RS ratio. Let's talk about the momentum. So whenever you see an arrow something like this over here, which is pointing upwards, all right, it means that the particular stock or that particular index, the momentum is increasing. Momentum is increasing when the pointer is the arrow is pointing towards the north. All right, that is up. If a particular arrow is pointing downwards, we will understand that the momentum is decreasing. All right, so momentum up. If the arrow is up, momentum is increasing. If the arrow is down, the momentum is decreasing. All right, of that particular stock or that particular index, whichever arrow that particular index is representing. Now it is a relative rotation graph. All right, relative to what? So everything is relative to a particular benchmark. All right, over here, if you can see on your top left corner somewhere over here, follow my mouse, relative to Nifty or Nifty 50 or Nifty 500. All right. So if we see a particular arrow which is pointing towards the right hand side, all right, it is pointing towards the right hand side. What does that mean? It means that it is outperforming the benchmark. All right. If an arrow is if let's say a particular stock's arrow is pointing towards the right, it means that that stock is outperforming the benchmark. And what if the arrow is sloping on the left hand side? What does that mean? That means that particular stock or index is underperforming the benchmark. All right, friends. Now, when we talk about outperforming the benchmark and underperforming the benchmark, especially, you know, confusion. Many people get confused when they see that underperforming the benchmark. They feel that if Nifty goes down, this particular index or this particular stock will go up. No, underperforming simply means that if Nifty goes down by 2% on a particular period, uh, this particular, which is an underperforming, it will go down by more than 2%. All right. And if Nifty goes up by 2%, this particular index will go up by less than 2%. That means underperformer. All right. What does outperformer mean? Outperformer means if Nifty goes up, the benchmark goes up by 1%, this particular index or the stock will go up by more than 1%. If this particular, if Nifty, the benchmark, goes down by 1%, this particular index or stock will go down by less than 1%. I hope all of you are clear on this. Everybody with me on the same page? Yeah. And whenever I ask you questions, kindly make sure that you type a yes or something in the comment section, so it helps me that it will be an interactive session. All right, that's great, fantastic. All right, so now, what is the best case scenario? The best case scenario is we want that particular sector or that particular stock in which the momentum is increasing and it is also outperforming the benchmark. So that becomes a strong sector or a strong stock. All right. So an ideal scenario on a particular RRG graph would be, we want something to go towards the northeast. If something like this, if we find something like this arrow over here which is going towards the northeast, what we can confirm is that this particular stock or the index is outperforming the benchmark, and its momentum is also increasing. All right. If the momentum starts decreasing, all right, and it may be on the right hand side. All right, if let's say if these were the quadrants over here, all right, if these were the quadrants, so we can say that in this case, that if an arrow is pointing down over here, we can say that the momentum is decreasing, but still, all right, but still it is an outperformer because it is on the right hand side of the quadrant. All right. And if a particular index or a stock is going this way and has entered the left hand side of the quadrant, it means that the momentum had already decreased. Now it has also started underperforming the benchmark. All right. So this can become the worst case scenario over here. All right, in which this. So did you understand the best case scenario and the worst case scenario? All right, the best case scenario is a particular stock entering into a leading quadrant over here. So this becomes the best case scenario, and this becomes the worst case scenario. So sometimes after a stock has underperformed and the momentum has just gone away, after a long period of time, the momentum of that particular stock may start increasing. All right, and if it starts increasing, then it has a chance that it may now start outperforming the benchmark. So if a particular index is over here, some arrow is on the left hand side, and is pointing towards the north, it means that just the momentum is increasing, but it is still an underperformer. All right, why? Because it is towards the left hand side of the quadrant. Is that clear, everybody? Was I absolutely clear, my friends? So I will try to, keep things very simple, very, very, very simple, so that each and every one of you can understand it. All right. I'll not use big, big jargons. Okay, that's great. Super. So let me present the screen once again, and let me come to the RRG. So over here you can see that the benchmark is Nifty 50. All right. You have choices where you can also change the benchmark to Nifty 500. Now here you will get many, you'll get questions, which is an ideal benchmark to choose from. So I would suggest Nifty 50 would be the most ideal benchmark, all right, because they are the top stocks from the top sectors, and it is a very good benchmark, and the sentiments are dependent on Nifty 50. All right. Now, so this is the leading quadrant. The green color quadrant is a leading quadrant, and below it is the weakening quadrant. So as I said, if any of the arrows are on the right hand side of the quadrant, that means that I'll zoom it. So you have your Nifty Realty. Are you guys able to see this Nifty Realty over here, my friends? Yeah, are you able to read it? Yeah, so this is Nifty Realty. All right. Uh, this is Nifty Private Bank. This is Bank Nifty. This is Consumer Durables. This is Financial Services. This is Pharma and Healthcare. So all these indices and even IT. All right, over here. So all these indices, they all are what? They all are outperformers or underperformers. Can somebody write and tell me? All these indices on the right hand side, they all are outperformers. Yes, on the right hand side, they are outperformers. And outperforming who? Outperforming the benchmark Nifty 50. Is that clear? And all these indices on the left hand side, Nifty PSU, consumption, infrastructure, auto, oil and gas, energy, CPSE, commodities, media, FMCG, all these indices are underperformers. Why? Because they are on the left hand side of the quadrant. All right, everybody. Now, the arrows which are pointing upwards, yeah, the underperformers, but their momentum is increasing. So Nifty oil and gas, and okay. So on your top right hand side, you can also see something like this over here, counts. All right, this is a minus sign, and this is a plus sign, and there are five written over here. That means uh, they are weeks. All right, they are weeks. Time frame is, you can change time frame to 60-minute, daily, weekly, and monthly. So in this, it is a weekly time frame. So over here, this data is of last 5 weeks. So you can say that this was the week started from 1st of January. Now whenever we are talking about this date, 1st of January, let me also January, the date that is written. All right. It is the first day of the week. All right. It will always be the first day. So from 1st of January, it has come up. All right. 6th of January. All right. Uh, 3rd of January, 13th of January, I'm sorry. This is 20th of January and 27th of January. So the week has just started over here and we are on 29th. So this last point is from 27th January to 29th of January. All right. Now you can see that the arrow is pointing upwards. When the arrow is pointing upwards, meaning the momentum of oil and gas sector is improving. The momentum is improving, but the relative performance to the benchmark is still an underperformer. So the underperformer, you can see this JDK RS ratio at the center. When you click over here, it is 0. All right, so this is 100. So if the RS ratio is below 100, it means they are all underperformers. If RS ratio is above 100, that is on the right hand side, they are outperformers, and on the left hand side below 100, they are all underperformers. Okay, now, since on the y-axis the momentum is plotted, you can see the momentum was 99.11. Yeah, let me zoom and show you. Yeah, over here 99.11 was the momentum. Then the next week 99.53. Then the next week, okay, what happened was it the momentum became very strong and it became 100.16. So when the momentum increases above 100 over here, all right, you can see that the momentum in oil and gas from last 2 weeks, has been increasing. But since it is an underperformer, we may not have noticed much. But since the momentum has increased, it is an early signs that this particular index may come to this leading quadrant over here and become outperformer. All right, so at that was the time you can look into this particular sector. All right, similarly, auto. All right, so I hope you know how to analyze this. Of course we will come to that one by one, but first I hope you guys are aware and you are understanding, right? Now let us convert this weekly chart. Yeah, let us convert this weekly chart into a daily time frame chart. All right, so you just come here and click on a daily time frame. You get a daily time frame chart over here, and in this daily time frame, again the basics remains the same: leading, weakening, lagging, improving. So can you tell me which sector is completely lagging? We can say that the media sector over here is completely lagging. There is no momentum out here, and it is a highly underperformer on this daily time frame chart. All right, so what can we understand if it is an underperformer? Right, Vimal? Absolutely. If media is an underperformer, what can we do is, if at all the on a particular day, maybe let's say tomorrow, let's assume tomorrow the market falls down, and if the market falls down, we want to find out stocks to go short on. पहले बेचो और फिर खरीदो. All right, so in that case, this would be the sector where we will focus on. Clear? Let us assume if tomorrow Nifty is very strong, it is bullish. All right, and the trend of Nifty is positive, it is up. All right, then which are the sectors to focus on? Focus on, we can have sectors where the momentum is increasing and they are outperformers. So you can have metals, you can have commodities, but you can see commodities, they all are outperformers over here. All right, and where the momentum is increasing is the private banks, the financial services, bank nifty. All right, so banking counters and the financial services counter right now, they are pointing towards the leading quadrant. All right, so if tomorrow nifty remains positive, then these are the sectors to focus on by going long. All right. Okay, so question noted. When to exit? I'll come to it in a while. All right. Okay. So now, what you can also do is, if you want to find out, that how a particular metal index, or let's say any of the index, let's say bank nifty. All right. So if we simply, on the left hand side, there is this tabular format. Now, a very important thing also to understand is, see, on the daily chart, there are 5 counts. You can go up to 30 counts. Maximum, you can go up to 30 counts. So, what will happen is, once you click on 30, so there will be 30 data points that will be plotted on the chart, and your chart will get cluttered. You will not be able to analyze any damn thing over here. So by default we have kept this as only 5. All right. And if you want to understand that from where has this PSU, or a particular bank, or any of the index, from which index it has come from, so all you can do is you can click on Nifty Bank over here, any one of them. So that particular Nifty Bank arrow will be highlighted. All right. And what you can do is, with a mouse scroll, you can zoom out first, and then on the center somewhere over here at the top, all right, there is a button called as play. Are you all able to see this button, play? Yes. So once I click on this play button, you will be able to track Bank Nifty. So it has gone to weakening. Now it is inching towards the leading quadrant, but it is still in the weakening quadrant, headed towards the lagging quadrant over here, entered the lagging quadrant. Yeah. Now the momentum has increased and gone into improving, and from improving right now it is exactly over there. So it has gone in a clockwise direction, and now it is pointing towards the leading quadrant. So Bank Nifty is something that you can watch out for if Nifty is if the benchmark trend is positive. All right, clear over here. Now you can see, let me give you one example about two stocks. Let's take Nifty IT. Over here, you can just click like this. You can say Nifty IT, and which was the other one over here? Nifty IT and Nifty Auto. Okay, Nifty IT and Nifty Auto. All right. So you can also compare the two, indices, two sectors against each other. And once you click over here, you can say play button, and you will get an overview about their performance, which is performing when. All right, and right now they are at the extremes. So, yep, you can see that Nifty has entered from the weakening quadrant to the leading quadrant. All right, now this leads me to one more thing, one more point over here. We said that this was the best case scenario. My friends, even a better scenario is that when a particular index, all right, or a particular stock, when it is in a weakening quadrant, when it is in a weakening quadrant over here, and all of a sudden it goes up over here like this, yeah, into the leading quadrant. So what does this mean is that already it was an outperformer. Already it was on the right hand side, so it was an outperformer. Correct. Now just that the momentum had dropped a little bit, and it took a u-turn and immediately gained the momentum once again. All right. So this particular scenario is also a best case scenario, better than this one. Yeah, a better than this one, because here what is happening is, from the you can say from the underperforming, it is coming into outperforming. All right, quadrant. All right, but here it is already outperformer, and it has just gained pace. All right, so for short term traders, if you find something like this on a daily time frame chart, all right, if you see something on a daily time frame chart, a short term trader can look into these sectors or these stocks. Am I clear? Yes. So yeah, you can just simply play over here. So IT, it came up, but again went down, and both of them right now in the lagging quadrant. All right, on the daily time frame chart. Right. Now I also wanted to show you something where you can compare the tail length of FMCG and oil and gas. So you can compare that, the oil and gas tail length. So this is the tail. Both are of 5 days only. Yeah, both are of 5 days. But the length of oil and gas, okay, is it seems to be bigger than the tail length of FMCG. It means that what has happened is, over here you can see the 2 points over here. Um, Over here, what has happened is, it has it has gone and the performance of this compared to the benchmark has decreased drastically and more compared to FMCG over here from this date. So 27, you can see the RS ratio was 101.12 and it became 100.84 on 28th of January. All right, but over here you can see that on 27th the RS ratio was 100.6 and it went down by only 0.10. So RS ratio became 100.50. So the bigger the tail length, meaning the bigger the momentum change. All right, or the performance change, any one of them. So if the tail length, if you can see that, if there is let me show you on the weekly time frame chart. On the weekly time frame chart, you can see public sector bank. Yeah, this one over here, Nifty PSU index. Look at the tail length. Look at the tail length. It seems to be the largest. Meaning, this PSU bank in last 5 weeks, okay, its momentum has dropped drastically, and it has remained a little bit of underperformer. It's at the borderline only. All right, and if you can check its RRG performance over here, once we play a button, or let me just simply, instead of playing, let me increase the weeks over here. You can see that this is coming from the lagging quadrant over here, and it was into the improving quadrant, all ready to get into leading, but somehow the momentum dropped drastically and it fell down. All right, now what next? We'll have to wait, since we have understood that one Bank of India, they came out with some good set of results in last 2 days. It was performing well, and expected that other PSU banks may also come out with some good results. So we'll have to check the daily time frame of PSU, and you can see that PSU is headed towards the leading quadrant, right? Pacing is bigger. Absolutely right, Mr. Ramesh. All right, if the tail length is bigger. And one more thing, one more important point to make is that you can see that there are some sectors which are hovering around the center point of this graph. All right, and there are some of them which are far away. So they create a larger impact. The ones which are far away, they create a larger impact, and if the momentum is going down, it goes down drastically, and if it is gaining momentum, it gains drastical momentum. And this particular realty over here on the daily, for it to come into a leading, it will take a lot of time and efforts for them to come over here. But a slight improvement in PSU bank maybe tomorrow can take this Nifty PSU into the leading immediately. Did you all understand? Am I clear? Any doubts so far? Yes, any doubts, questions? Fantastic. So if there are no doubts, it means nothing is understood or everything is understood. I hope the second part, everything is understood, right? Okay, great. Okay, so now what is the next thing that we can do over here is, once we find out a particular index which is strong, Later we want to find out stocks. Which time frame? Okay, great, Mr. Bala. uh, so which time frame for investing? Now there are, you can see that there are four time frame charts that are available over here. All right. Now if according to my experience, I would say that 60-minute time frame chart is very fast. All right, so if you are an intraday trader, you can have a look at this, but believe me, it will be very fast. You have to take spontaneous decisions. All right, so if you are a kind of a BTST trader, then yep, 60-minute time frame chart or even a daily time frame chart would do. All right, for a BTST or a very short term trader, like you have a weekly point of view. And if you are a positional trader, or maybe you can say a swing trader, for you want to take trades for a couple of weeks and hold on, or maybe even if you are a long term investor, I would suggest weekly time frame is the best time frame, where the change in these indices is at a proper pace. All right. And if you feel that you are a ultra long term investor, then we do have monthly. But the thing is, this monthly is very lagging. Monthly is very lagging. So you can see that Nifty media is out here. It's highly underperformer. The momentum was down for these 4 months, and it's only in last 4 months that the momentum has slightly increased. All right. But if you check the chart over here now, besides this relative rotation graph RRG, we have also given this chart option. So you can click on this media, you can highlight this media over here, and then you click on this particular chart. You will be able to see a candlestick chart along with the RS momentum, and the momentum indicator and the relative strength both. So you can see that it's going down, right? It's going down. All right. And it will take a lot of time for it to come into a leading quadrant. All right, so as a long term investors, when you see some charts like these, so these are the stocks where if the trend lines have been broken and everything is down, uh, as an investor you can avoid. But yes, something which has gone down drastically has a chance to come up also significantly. So if you are ultra long term, you'll need a lot and lot of patience. All right, to and you'll have to wait for this particular media to come into the improving first, and from improving again come into the leading, and then probably you might get some returns. But this might take more than 6 to 7 months, and it will test your patience. It may also so happen that media can come up over here and fall down once again. So again, coming back to this particular thing, if we say that this is the best case scenario, if any index coming up over here into improving and then going into lagging once again, this will be the worst case scenario, right? Right. So something like this may also happen, where Nifty media can come up over here and then again come down. Now again, this is not a prediction that from here it will always come up and always come into the leading quadrant. It is a study which will help you to find out which are the sectors, or which are the stocks in your portfolio are performing better than each other. All right, so don't take this as a trading signal. All right, you have to look at the basic candlestick chart first, and you will understand that okay, out of all these sectors, that if I'm an investor, I would probably look at a weekly chart first. Okay, and if I'm a trader, I would look at the daily time frame chart. So I would stick to daily time frame as a short term trader, and as an investor or a positional trader, I would stick to weekly time frame. I hope I have made myself clear over here. So as an investor, I would see that, hey, oil and gas has crossed the border over here. Auto has also crossed border few weeks ago. But what is that something which is crossing the border now? So I can see FMCG, a slight increase in positive momentum will take this FMCG into the improving quadrant. So I would like to focus on FMCG. All right. um, Later on, the best case scenarios is something momentum gaining. Is there any gaining momentum? So few weeks back, you can see consumer durables had crossed the border over here. So somewhere on, the 1st of January on this week, all right, consumer durables was something, which outperformed and also gained momentum. All right. So as a investor right now, what is gaining momentum? So this is something, FMCG is the only thing which is gaining momentum over here. Commodities, oil and gas, and auto. So these are the ones which are gaining momentum. And on the weekly chart, you can see that the Nifty weekly Bank Nifty is losing momentum, financial services losing momentum. So immediately, I would not focus much on Nifty and financial services over here. Immediately, if I want, I would focus on auto. Now if auto is supposed to outperform, what can we do? So instead of, only indices, we also have created the individual indices over here. You can select Nifty Auto, and once you click on Nifty Auto, you will find all the auto stocks that are included in this particular index, and you will see their relative performance. Benchmark will be Nifty Auto. All right. And you can also choose to, compare the auto performance with Nifty 50 as well. All right. So, accordingly, this particular scenario will change, but it is always better to, compare the auto stocks with its auto index only. All right. Getting was some question, Bhavin. If we are bullish in Nifty right now, then which sector would you prefer? By seeing the RRG, RRR, Bhavin, it's a name of a movie, RRG, you will say. Okay, and explain in detail. We know how to pick stocks. Definitely, I'm coming there, Bhavin. If we are bullish in Nifty, yeah, definitely. Kindly check Bank Nifty on the daily time frame chart. Sir, can we use RRG for intraday F&O trading? Abhishek, very risky. I will not use RRG for intraday trading. All right, but you can look at 60-minute time frame chart and at least get, which sector. So I'll come to that as well. All right, I'll come to your question as well. But Bhavin, answering you right now, if you feel that Nifty has bottomed out and it can perform, all right. So the first thing is, you can, come to the sectors list. You can select the weekly time frame chart and try to see which sector are gaining momentum. So which sectors are crossing the borders. I generally, tell that, from lagging to improving. All right. So these are the ones which have crossed borders, a couple of weeks ago, and they are pointing towards the leading quadrant. So oil and gas, auto are something that, we will watch out for. Um, we can also watch out for FMCG, and we can also watch out for those who are outperformers. So if Nifty will, perform, which one can outperform? So these are the ones to outperform. But how to time them? So we will wait for, this IT. See, IT has come down from leading to weakening. Now, if Nifty bounces back, and along with that, even IT bounces back, then IT can, just simply, start coming up. It can just take a U-turn, and when it crosses the border from weakening to leading, that will be the time I would get into IT. Right. So when the Nifty trend, you feel it is bullish, and at that time you will have to find out stocks or sectors which are crossing the borders. Which borders? Either from lagging to improving, or from improving to leading, or from weakening into leading. All right. And I would avoid all the counters or the sectors or the indices which are crossing the border into the lagging quadrant. All right. So right now I can see that none of the sectors are, on the weekly time frame at least, none of them are getting into lagging. So as an investor, we will focus on auto, oil and gas, right, IT, and again IT with the condition that we will wait for it to turn around. All right. So if we are focusing on auto, you can go to Nifty Auto and check for yourself that on the weekly time frame once again you can see Tata Motors from the lagging has entered into the improving one. You can see Maruti, which has undergone through a nice correction, and after a long while, it is into the leading quadrant. So in the auto space, you can clearly see Maruti leading very nicely, where the momentum is also high and it is outperformer as well. So Eicher Motor, M&M, their momentum, there is a slight loss in momentum, but wait for it to turn around. And once the momentum picks up, you can again get into it. So if you want to check the momentum on the chart, right? So you can check, let's say anyone, let's say Maruti, or let's take Eicher Motor, whose momentum is decreasing, and you can click on the chart over here, right? So here you can see that there are green lines and red lines over here. Green line is the ratio, that is the relative performance to the benchmark, and the red line is the momentum of that particular stock. So you can see the momentum is above this gray line, yeah, above this gray line, which is 100. So momentum is high and it is also outperforming the benchmark. All right. But now you wait for this red line to again gain the momentum. All right. If it gains momentum over here like this, see over here, you can check when the momentum and the relative performance. So the momentum will increase first and then the counter will come into the leading quadrant, and from here on you got a nice breakout. And Eicher Motor is something that you know can be looked at for a bullish trade. I hope I have cleared this, Bhavin. All right. Well, Tata Motors has a poor result. So you can just click on Tata Motors over here. And instead of the quadrants, you can have a look at the candlestick chart, where you can see the momentum only has increased a little bit over here, right? But it is still an underperformer. So if given a choice between Eicher Motor and Tata Motor, the choice is very clear, Eicher Motor. So that's the name, relative to each other. So we don't want to buy all the automobile stocks, right? We want to buy those stocks which are outperformers and which are gaining momentum. So with one glance over here on this particular RRG chart, you will get to know which stock is performing. So Tata Motors is underperforming. It's on the left hand side, but has a chance it is gaining momentum. And since it has gained momentum, you have to watch out for it. All right. Whether it is coming into the leading, and as soon as look at this, when Maruti Suzuki on 6th of this is weekly chart on 6th January week. All right, it came in from improving and it came into the leading quadrant. All right, so if you want to check the Maruti chart, you can also click over here and say Maruti, and you can say Maruti Suzuki full fledged chart over here. You can take, and this is a Rohit setup. For those who don't know Rohit setup, this is a Rohit momentum indicator, which can also help you to assist. All right, whether to get into Maruti or not. So Maruti was a fantastic buy signal was given over here, and once it crossed above the averages, it performed. But let me look at the weekly time frame chart. All right, and we are talking about. Let me get back over here. We are talking about 6th January to 13th January week. Yeah, hi Anup. So 6th January. So this is a daily time frame chart. We can look at the weekly time frame chart. Uh, so look at this. The 6th January, the momentum indicator, Rohit momentum in this case, okay, had given a bullish signal and price crossed above its averages over here. It took support from the averages, and right now it's still taking support from the averages. So maybe this is the stock to watch out for. All right. So on the weekly time frame chart itself, since it is into the leading, if auto comes out from the lagging and improving, and if the auto sector itself comes into the leading sector, uh, Maruti is something that we have to watch out for. And maybe TVS Motor, which has slightly turned up. If TVS Motor crosses border from weakening to leading, then that particular counter will we can watch out for. All right. Now, any other questions before I move a step further? Yes, absolutely. TVS Motor taking a U-turn towards leading, but let it come towards let it come towards the borderline. All right, let it cross. Right. Uh, all right. Now, Praj Industry. So let's say a particular stock, individual stock. We'll take a look at it later. Uh, all right. So if there are which software, Rohit Vasudeva, this is Strike platform. You can go to web.strike.money, and on this web.strike.money you can start off with a 7-day free trial. Use it for yourself, and if you feel comfortable, you can also go and subscribe. What are the subscription fees? All these things we'll discuss later, okay, towards the end. Now let's go now. Let's say, for those who are investors, you have a portfolio, okay, of some stocks of 10, 15 stocks, 20 stocks, or maximum up to 50 stocks. As an investor, we all know that uh, you know 20 to 25 stocks are the maximum that is advised to have in our portfolio. But you may also have more, depending on your how you are able to track your stocks that you own. All right. So for them, what we can do, we can go to this home platform. In the home section, we have a watch list. And in the watch list, what you can do is you can create a watch list. You can create up to 100 watch list of your own choice. What I have done is I have also created my own sector watch list. All right. So these are my own sector watch list, which I would like to go ahead. I have some stocks, you know, where you can create a watch list of your stocks. And if you want to create a new watch list, you can simply say create watch list. Say you know uh, ZZ live session. All right. Say create watch list over here, and now you can say add items. So over here, let's take CDSL. All right. Let's take, you can say add, uh you can say Adani Power. And one more very important thing to note down over here is, just a minute. Okay, I think the screen was not visible. I'm so sorry. um you can go to the home screen. I hope you guys are now, you can see the home screen on your top left corner of your screen. Go to watch list section below it, and over here you can say create a watch list. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, now you can see it clearly. So you can say create a watch list, and in that watch list I just created this ZZ live session. And once you want to add more, you can simply select add. And we have added CDSL. Um TVS Motor. All right, so you can have your own watch list like this. All right. uh, yes, you can do intraday trading, but I will not advise you, because right now the data that you will find is into 5 minute lag. Very soon, maybe within a month, we will come into 1 minute lagging data. And then if you want to look at intraday, you can. Okay, but RRGs are generally used for comparative analysis. For stock selection, it will help you. It will not give you buying and selling signals. Okay, let me be very clear. All right, now I hope the screen is visible to everybody. Yeah. What were the other stocks that came in? All right. So, any stocks that you would like to see, I'll add. Yeah. Let's take Reliance Industries. All right. So this way you can just keep on adding the stocks. All right. Say add to watch list Cummins. Okay. And Cams. Okay. Not more now. Cummins Limited and CAMS Cams. All right. Now, also note one thing over here. If you add a BSE listed only stock, let's say for example protein, yeah, this particular stock is listed only on the BSE. It will show you up over here. All right, but this stock is not listed on the NSE. So I would ask you guys not to use the BSE listed stocks over here. All right, because the data that we provide is on the NSE website only for now. All right. So now this particular watch list has been created. All right. Uh, Now what you can do is you can go to the relative rotation graph, and in this relative rotation graph, you can select the live session, the watch list that we just created, and with the benchmark of Nifty 50, you will get this five stocks. Now you can clearly see that which stocks are performing against each other. So this will clearly, as of now, as if you are a trader, you can go to a daily time frame chart, and on this daily time frame chart, you will see that Reliance momentum is losing, whereas TVS Motor momentum is increasing. Cummins has just crossed the border over here, and CAMS and CDSL are hovering around the lagging quadrant, like snakes. All right. So with this, you can clearly come to a conclusion that okay, out of these five stocks, which stocks we have to focus on. Is that clear? Yeah, everybody with me on the same page? Yep. So, and there is one more way where you can also add a watch list is, let's suppose you feel that oil and gas is something that is coming out. So you can select oil and gas sector, and once all this table comes in, I'll zoom in a little bit over here so that you guys can see it clearly. So once your Reliance and MGL and GAIL, and this is your oil and gas sector page, what you can do is you can come and once you hover your mouse over these lines, no, over these stocks, you will see add to watch list, and the next button is to open up a new window itself only for Reliance. So you can say add to watch list button over here, and you can say create new watch list. Say oil and gas, easy. Say create watch list, and you can select all of them over here. You can select all of them over here and say add to watch list. So like this, what have we done is we have created a watch list, and in of oil and gas, and in this oil and gas itself. All right, in this oil and gas itself, if you want to add more stocks or delete some stocks, you can do it right away from here. Clear? Yep. All right, JSW Energy. So we will add it to the other one. Mm, here we go. JSW Energy. So you can add up to 50 stocks over here. If the watch list is more than 50, it will not be supported in RRG. All right. If in the bank, Asian Paint, ITC Hotel, Mridul has just been listed. Okay. All right. So add to watch list. So now we have 8 counters. You can go to RRGs and say live session 8 counters. So now let me again. You can see over here, right? So JSW Energy, the momentum was strong, but it gave away. Cummins is going up, TVS is going up, CDSL camps are over here. Asian Paints, look at this. There is a sharp increase in Asian Paints. What has happened is that the momentum was going down, and all of a sudden there was a sharp increase, and that's why it tried to cross the border and enter the leading quadrant, but it failed. So some more momentum tomorrow on the positive side. Asian Paints can get into the leading quadrant, and if it gets into the leading quadrant, then we know what to do. And over here, Reliance has got into the weakening quadrant. So Reliance is something that we'll have to wait, And if we look at the chart of Reliance, yeah, if you look at the chart of the Reliance, you can see the momentum is going below 100. All right, and it is still outperformer. All right, than Nifty, and the stock is at a probable support. So we'll have to check whether there is a green candle coming in, and if there is a green candle coming in, is it the momentum indicator is going above 100 or not? Okay, and then you can take a decision accordingly. All right. So that was about RRG. There were many questions on whether we can do it on intraday basis or not. Yes, if you want to do it on an intraday basis, you'll have to be a very quick decision maker, and in your same portfolio, you can see that for very short term, Cummins is something that is coming up over here. So you can look at Cummins on the chart, look at the other momentum indicators, and accordingly. Okay. So one more thing that we have is, since I have shown you Rohit momentum indicator, there is a scanner section available over here. There is a scanner section available, and in the scanner section there is a Dow trend scanner. So what you can do is you can select a basket of sectors. All right, you can check the sectors over here, and in the sectors on the hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly, you can check which sectors are turning. So auto, you can see that on the daily time frame chart, auto as per the Dow trend. Okay, let me zoom in the chart over here. So it has closed above its previous top, and hence the trend has changed to up. All right, so you can check all these realty whether it is down to up, and you can also come to RMI scanner for intraday traders and those who would like to trade in F&O. What can be a way out is you can select a basket in the RMI scanner. You want stocks which have positive momentum. Let's assume you want to buy the stocks. You want to go long first and then square off. So you guys can look at the F&O basket, and in F&O basket you can select, I want a list of all the stocks where the momentum has just turned bullish. All right, and on the daily time frame chart, and on the weekly time frame, I want that the momentum should be bullish. So I don't want this bearish momentum stock. So within a click, we got a list of 6 stocks. Now, out of these six stocks, which one to focus on, which is stronger than one another? All you can do is you can come here, click on, add to watch list, say create a watch list. All right. Um, you can select all of them over here, all six of them, and say add to watch list. So we'll change the name over here. Uh, create a list. Um, FNO Bulls. Yeah. Create a watch list and say all of them are there. So add to watch list in FNO Bulls. Now, once your FNO Bulls watch list is made, all right, you can see here FNO Bulls six stocks has been made. You can come to RRGs, right? And on RRGs, you can select FNO Bulls over here, and you will get on the 60-minute time frame chart. You can see which are the ones which are performing. Can click on RRG over here and see which are the ones which are performing better than each other. You can also come and check it on the daily chart. I would prefer daily and weekly time frame, but for F&O stocks, you can prefer daily chart and go to 60-minute time frame as well, right? So that's how you can select stocks, and then based on your technical analysis that you have learned, any methods that you have learned, you can use that method for entry and exit levels, right? Okay, so HDFC Life, Mridulji, you can just put it into, you can have a list of all the insurance companies, HDFC Life, LIC, and all the other list. And then you can compare, you can make a watch list of those stocks on your own. And, then you can compare whether HDFC Life is better or LIC is better, or, any other stock is better, right? Look on RRG graph, HDFC Life. So let me put up over here itself. Let's put HDFC Life. All right. Um, so you have your HDFC Life done over here. So HDFC Life is in the leading quadrant itself on the daily time frame chart. The momentum is increasing. So a better look. You can also add, let's say, LICI. Yeah. You can also add which other life insurance companies you are aware of. NIACL, New India Assurance. All right. You can say anything in Bajaj Healthcare, Bajaj Life, or something like that. Yeah, and say done, and say yes, okay, and you will see you can compare HDFC Life with LIC. Yeah, so you can see that HDFC Life is in the leading quadrant, but LIC is still in the improving quadrant. So yes, by this, HDFC Life has a good momentum and is an outperformer than compared to the LIC, right? So my friends, yeah, any other doubts or questions regarding the RRGs? I hope just if you have understood, at least there are almost like around 840 people watching. You guys can just comment and let me know anything else that would like to know, or whatever you have learned today has added some value. You can just comment and let me know. Yeah. And I hope this particular tool RRG would help you in your personal investments. especially investments and also on your trading front. For sector analysis, which is better, benchmark 50 or 500 for stock analysis, which is better benchmark? So I would stick to Nifty 50. Yeah, I would stick to Nifty 50 as a good benchmark for sector or for stocks, whichever. Great. Okay. So then, those of you who are not using this particular, who have not signed up for web.strike.money, this is especially for you. What you can do is, you can you can have a enrollment. Just a minute, I'll share with you. You can log on to web.strike.money. The link will be in the description, and you can simply click on the plans over here. If you subscribe for 1 month, you will always get a 7-day free trial. Definitely yes. So I would urge you to start your 7-day free trial, and after the trial period, you can go to plans and billing section and say subscribe. It's just 650 rupees per month. If you enroll for 6 months, you'll get 3,600 rupees for 6 months, 5,610 for a year, and 10,200 for 2 years, and 21,930 for 5 years. All right. So that's about the billing plan. You can just see for yourself, and yeah, in the description you also have the link with you guys. Any other questions on RRG? Feel free. Yeah, thank you, Ashish Kumar. It was useful. Thank you for your response. Means a lot to me. Yeah. Ramesh ji, good for building portfolio and booking profits. Yes. So, yeah, this one question was asked, where how to understand where to book profits. So profits is, see, basically what happens is, uh, RRG. What does RRG do is that there are mutual fund managers. There are lots of fund managers, and all us, we the retail people, we have SIPs, lots and lots of SIPs, and there is a lot of awareness about mutual funds, and there are more and more people who are pumping in money, and these fund managers, they cannot sit on idle cash. They have to utilize that cash, so in one sector or the other sector. So these fund managers, using all their information, using all their talents and analysis about the company's fundamentals, about the sector fundamentals, using all these things, they decide whether to get into which sector or not. So for that, this RRG, where you can see that which sector is doing well against each other, so it will help you to identify. As an investor, you will understand that if you have a stock, okay, who is from a sector which is in the lagging sector. So if you have a stock which is in media, all right, so it is better to exit from the media and maybe get into an auto, right, or get into an oil and gas, or probably if any of the indices which are coming up from here, so you know how to churn your portfolio as well. All right. So I hope this question, Mr. Ramesh, that how to book profits. So for profit booking, again, you can look at the momentum indicator, that is RMI, or various other indicators which you like, and which you have learned and have holds on hands on. So you whenever any momentum indicator gives you a bearish signal, but first always focus, these are tools. I am a technical analyst by heart. So you can say that, first you have to focus on price and volume data. All right, if there is any bearish candlestick pattern forming, or if there is any bearish chart pattern that is forming like a double top, or bearish engulfing. All right, then you look at the, is it forming with volumes? Are the prices going down with volumes or without volumes? If they are going down without volumes, that is a good indicator. So you can look at, that particular stock is from which index, and that index is in which quadrant. So rather than going, having a top to down approach, you can have a bottom to up approach as well. All right, whichever suits you. So Nifty Bank, yeah, this is Nifty Bank for you. So you can see the Kotak Bank is, has come from lagging to improving and has directly got into leading. So, this Bank Nifty may Kotak Bank is the strongest of all. You can see IDFC, which was in the lagging for quite a time, has now, started gaining momentum on the weekly chart. But if you see on the daily chart, it will be in the lagging quadrant and maybe coming out. Yeah, let's see, where is IDFC first. Where is IDFC first? So yeah, IDFC first wasn't leading, but has come down to the weakening quadrant. All right. So on the daily time frame chart, is it coming up directly into the leading, or is it going into the lagging? If it is going into the lagging, then probably avoid IDFC first, right? And on the daily time frame chart, you can also see that, the chart, there is a gap down opening. So the basic principle comes in that, these gaps act like a resistance level. So for that, it has to go up. And yesterday the stock opened up with a gap, so right now squeezed between these two gaps. All right, both the momentum and the RS lines are sloping downwards. The momentum, it has lost momentum on the daily time frame chart. All right, but on the weekly time frame chart, what is happening? On the weekly time frame chart, it seems to have gained a little bit of momentum, and it is still an underperformer than the benchmark Nifty. So you will always find, whenever you are looking at this chart first, always the momentum will increase, and then only the particular stock will outperform the benchmark. And again, while going down, what will happen is your momentum will go down first, and then it will start underperforming the benchmark. So whether a stock is gaining momentum or losing momentum is the first thing that we have to see. And if a particular trend line has been broken, if this breaks, maybe it this line will start, coming up, and it will indicate that this breakout with volumes would be a valid breakout. And from there on, the stock could outperform the benchmark, right? So this is the way you can do your own analysis, right? Thank you so much, Ramesh ji. Yeah, any other doubts, my friends? Okay, then if there are no further questions, then let's wrap it up. Yep. So I wish you a great evening, my friends. I hope you loved this particular session, and you can write down in the comment section which other topics you would like to, have a live session on, and accordingly I shall plan that session, and present that with you guys, and we'll have lots and lots of learning. I hope today you guys learned a lot, and feel free to contact us, in the comment section. Do like and share, and let the all your loved ones, also benefit from this particular knowledge. All right, friends. So have a great evening. Was wonderful interacting with all of you, and see you again. Bye bye. See you.